we drove through, the I-80, was it?
Yeah.
The I-80 and through
All the way
Wyoming.
across the I-80.
Yeah. Wyoming, it was 38 degrees yesterday. That's when we woke up, and it was so cold, and then we got here, and now it's like 80 to 100 degrees. It was 100 degrees earlier today, at least in a truck.
Yeah, no, my phone said it was 100, and the truck said it was
good.
117.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So from Missouri to this, I don't know. I think I'll take the humidity.
Would you? Really?
Uh,
Oh, not me. No, I'd rather have the dry hot.
The dry heat. I think hot is hot.
Hot
So-
is hot, but humid is its own nasty beast,
Yeah.
right?
It's sticky and sweaty.
But would you rather be hot or cold?
I'd rather be comfortable 70-degree weather.
She said I'm Goldilocks.
Okay, so this is going to be our first podcast that we've done out
In a while?
in a while, for one, because we were trying to make it something different, and then COVID happened, and now it has to be something different.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this is our first one on the road, and we're going to see how
Here's
this
the
goes.
truck.
And yeah, there's the truck. Beautiful truck.
Got the beautiful truck here sitting behind us in the parking lot of a
It's a
Pilot
nice-
Flying J.
Nice 2020 International.
It is a beautiful,
Brand
new, not even broke in.
Yeah.
I mean, it only had 1,000-something miles on it when
Yeah.
we got it.
Now we're almost at 13.
Now we're past 13.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now we're past 13,000.
Wow.
Just with this past week, or this past trip.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. This past trip.
Yeah.
This guy's getting his brake test happening.
Hey, he's actually doing it.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job, guys.
Okay, so COVID happened, and well, a lot has changed. We had a business, or have a business, called MotoMe Life, and it's a personal training, personal development resource. And now we've had to kind of adapt and overcome and transition it into bringing it back into the trucking community, which was our target market. And veterans, truckers, sedentary lifestyle were all our sort of target market, and the clients that we had. So it kind of fits real perfect.
It does. And yeah, the business itself hasn't changed, but our side hustle has.
Oh yeah, our side hustle has changed.
Yeah. So COVID happened, and we had to make a decision and make a change in our life. And we wanted to talk about that and about change a little bit. And we thought that was kind of a perfect place to start, because change is so hard and so obscure, and often so many of us are just sort of like ambivalent to change. Like, things aren't that bad, but they're not great. So you just sort of stay in that middle slump. And in my opinion, I think that that's the worst place to stay.
So it's interesting that you say that, ambivalence being is the worst place to be. It's kind of that middle ground of stuff is, I might be in the poop right now, but the poop isn't that bad that I want to actually get out of it, right?
Right, yeah, sitting in your own dirty diaper because you don't have the motivation to change into a new one, because
It's
it
my
could
poop.
probably fit one more poop. No, or there's an old story about an old man sitting on his front porch, and his dog is laying there right beside him, and the dog is just moaning and wailing and crying, and his buddy from down the street walks up, they exchange hellos, and he looks at him and he's like, "What's wrong with your dog? Why won't it shut up? Why is it crying so much?" And he's like, he's laying on a nail. And his friend's like, "Well, why does he just move? Why does he get off it?" And the guy's like, "I guess it doesn't hurt enough." And that's where we are, right? It doesn't hurt enough.
Yep. And the everyone, anybody and everybody. I mean, I listen to a lot of different people who are inspirational and motivators and stuff in their own right. And everybody talks about the pathway to success, whatever they might be for anybody, is painful. It's work. It's
work. What? It's gonna be work.
But again, it's painful. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But not every day. Some days are gonna feel fantastic, and I can attest to some of that. I'm not as to where I would like to be personally, but I am striving. And the days that it sucks, I will say that.
Yeah, the days that it sucks. But when you're not trying at a personal
That
goal
sucks too,
or
yeah.
or plan or something, I mean, I'd counter with, don't you have days that suck there too?
Yeah.
And days that maybe sometimes are good also, but at least when you're trying for something, you feel those tastes of success and joy and love and passion and fulfillment, and that's what we're trying to.
Exactly.
At least that's what I'm trying to find. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to be happy.
Yeah, and that's everybody's trying to find that sort of happiness, and what we've experienced, and the reason we got into our business to begin with. I don't want to go too far into that, but we got into it seeing that people around us, mostly veterans, because there are our friends, they're committing suicide, they're unhappy or they're depressed, they're self-medicating, all these things, and we just thought there had to be a better way, a different way, or something that we could do from our own sort of talents and what our passion, to help inspire people to get, not just inspire, but to help them see the way to make the change, to see the strategies to make the change.
Yeah. To motivate themselves.
Yeah, to motivate themselves. Yeah, exactly.
Because that can come intrinsically or externally.
Exactly.
You can sometimes motivate yourself, or sometimes, I see you working out or doing something, I'm like, all right, yeah, I need to do something too. But sometimes I'm like, I just feel inspired when I wake up in the morning, or after a first cup of coffee. I'm not sure if that's internal or external at that point.
So we thought the best way to kind of go through a cool technique of going through some change, and how the going through the behaviors, the feelings, the thoughts of change, is to teach you, or to share with you guys the 5 change model, or 5 change method, or it's just called a couple different things, but
5 stages of change, or it's called the trans
theory. Oh. Nope. I brought my book.
It's not in the book, but
it is in the book.
The name of the guy, I think, is in there.
It's called trans-theoretical model of behavior change. I don't know why I keep fucking that up.
Because 5 stages of change is easier to remember, so you just default out. Why? Why do I need to teach that other thing? But this is just one tool.
Of many that is in NLP or CBT, or if you want to go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you don't.
Cognitive behavioral therapy, NLP,
linguistic
programming, and all those are different ways to kind of build new habits and change a behavior, and to do it sustainably, to do it in a way you can maintain it. So again, we're gonna discuss how we got on the road, because I know some of you have watched us and listened to our couple episodes of our podcast before. We were in Springfield, had our office there and whatnot, and then COVID happened. So this is kind of post, or not necessarily post, but during COVID.
Yeah.
And how and why we made the change, and what we're doing here, and we're gonna try and use the trans-theoretical behavior model to do that.
Well, yeah, we're gonna show how we use this model to think through this decision, and to get us over the hump of, should I or shouldn't I change, or is it that bad, or should we just stay in our shit?
Yeah, we weren't necessarily. It was mostly we could see.
I'm not saying
we could see
in
shit on the wall, I guess.
This is real technical, literal. I'm not literal. You guys will look here. I'm broad viewed and more artistic, I guess.
So, all right.
So stage 1.
Yeah, stage 1 is pre-contemplation, and we were COVID happened, and we were trying to figure out is this bad enough, right?
Yeah, we were kind of minimizing it, really.
Yeah.
Because it's just a flu. I mean,
That's what
it's just a baby flu. It's not even going to make it to the United States,
yeah.
we thought.
And if it gets to the United States, then I mean, it's like the SARS scare, the H1N1, all of that. I mean, we keep living through it, so
Yeah, we'll be fine.
we'll be fine. So yeah, we did minimize it. And I've never even heard of anything shutting down countries, the world, in such a way. Especially in the modern, I guess, I'm not that old, but you know, like,
Certainly not in my lifetime, not in my grandparents' lifetime.
yeah,
My great-grandmother never told me any sort of stories about how the global economy was affected by one single thing.
yeah,
I mean, I guess you could claim
the
the
Depression
world wars,
and the world wars.
but, you know, there's still several nations that did not get involved in that whatsoever, so
yeah,
this one
kind of affected everybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, so again, yeah, we minimized the.
we had side jobs.
Yeah, we did have side jobs. So we had our business. We, again, personal training. We did in-person classes. We focused and specialized in calisthenic training. So it's mostly just full body movement, and because we're focused on, if there's, the goal is to not have excuses, right? You minimize the excuses, minimize the things that stop you from doing what you said you're going to do. And physical fitness, physical health is extremely important to your building your happiness. We started teaching veterans, doing yoga and things like that, and this is honestly the best way to get them to start to think and feel internally while feeling better about themselves. So we were doing that. Then we're trying to move online. So we moved into a space in this small business incubator, E-Factory, Springfield, Missouri. Shout out! And it's a fantastic place. You can see all these other small businesses grow, and it's really cool. If you're in the Springfield area and you get a chance to kind of explore.
If you guys have ever been anywhere where you step on that little thing on the back side of the bathroom door, step and you step and pull the door open, that came out of that incubator. Huh?
That's pretty neat. It's
I
pretty
know.
Cool. Springfield's pretty cool. Anyways, we're not really we weren't from there, but we chose it. We'll go on that another day.
We chose you, Springfield. We chose you.
So we were trying to move online, and it's mostly for technological and tech businesses and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we were moving trying to move all of our stuff online, and in the middle of that, getting our website up and doing all kinds of cool things, and it's hard work. Let me tell you, if you don't have the money to pay somebody else to do everything, you have small business, you're everything. So
Yeah. You got all the hats.
Yep.
All the hats.
Trying to create events, all kinds of cool stuff. But anyways, and then COVID happened, and we weren't completely set up to deal with that on the online level. We were just in the middle of of recording and editing all of our different programs and writing out new programs for different companies and things like that. So I mean, again, we were just kind of in the middle of that, doing side jobs, teaching classes, having some clients here and there. But yeah,
That's what we are currently doing.
that's what we were currently doing. And
Plus, not just that, but because we're a small startup and we haven't gotten over the hump of having really great cash flow and a
Yep.
hugely profitable business.
we also have no debt. Our
also
business
have
has no debt.
But we had to also have side jobs. Well, we have CDLs. We were obviously trucking over the road for several years prior to getting off the road and realizing our dreams of starting this business. And so we had other driving jobs, but they were local civilian driving jobs. And we thought it's not going to be that bad.
We were
we're in the
considered
transportation
essential workers.
industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were considered essential. I got the paper, you know, and I knew I could be out and I could drive home and I could go to the store and do everything I needed to do. And since we were essential, those jobs were going to be secure. And so that's pre-contemplation. We were like, it's not going to be that bad. The pros to going and doing something different did not outweigh the cons. We weren't even really thinking about it. We're like, oh yeah,
we can make it
could.
through this. We're
Yeah.
gonna hit these side jobs hardcore until we can reopen and do our classes and stuff again. And
Yeah.
and
We don't need to go back to
it'll
trucking.
just be like a month, and we don't need to go back to trucking yet.
Not even yet. Not at all.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. and then we got, you know, our essential worker jobs told us that we weren't as essential anymore because
Yeah. And
Then
so
you-
then we were like, it's still okay. Classes are going to open again soon.
soon, yeah.
No problem. It's not going to take that long. 3 months later. Yeah, it took way too long.
Yeah, so that was what, February, March, April. April is when we were like, we could
We need
start
to
to
get
see
ready.
this the writing on the wall of, man, this, like, the whole world shutting down, all the economy's going crazy. And since the economy's never been through something like this before, it's different. It's yeah, you can look at the Great Depression or look at 2008 and things like that and get some idea of what could possibly happen. But
happen.
this has never
This
happened
hit
before.
globally. Yeah.
And so again, we're like, okay, this is we're gonna have to. Everyone has to take care of themselves, right? You have to not necessarily just yourself, but being able to support yourself, right?
So
And
stage 2.
stage 2.
Got the boot into stage 2. Getting ready. We thought we've been weighing the pros and cons, and we're thinking about going back over the road. We've been thinking about this for some time. You know,
Yeah.
it's always been sort of like something in the rear view that, like, if we wanted to, if we needed to, we could
Yeah.
come back to this business.
Yeah, but it was also in the side of we could come back to the business and focus on the sedentary lifestyle of a truck driver and be able to teach, because we couldn't remember everything that, like, I'm just relearning some things about wrist health and things like that, and I was like, oh, I completely forgot this was a thing that we needed to do. So that's been beneficial. But that is one thing. That was a benefit of thinking about coming back on the road and getting it back in touch with the truckers and veteran truckers and things like that. But we were doing that
Pretty well.
At
home.
at home.
It was,
So-
it was a stalemate.
while getting the other things that we wanted out of our life, church, friends, the festivals, the home life, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but in this truck is not your own kitchen or bathroom, and that is one of the huge pros about not doing this trucking business. So that's preparation is the getting ready stage, and often it's a stalemate. The pros don't outweigh the cons for you to make a decision, and
Yeah,
most people are
because we
usually
still had more pros than cons to do it. We still had more pros in our
to
life to stay home. Yeah.
because we were making it through
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
But that's just what we talked about at the beginning.
Yeah.
We were kind of sitting in our shit. We're like, it's good enough. It's not
Yeah.
that bad. It's not super great. It's not where we want it to be. But it was.
So we knew how we had to plan a plan of what we wanted to do.
We did, but I'm
But
just
we had
trying
to
to
rechange
illustrate. So we were still making it through. We had the Moto Me Life classes. We were building our courses. We had the side jobs, even though my side jobs, they started to take away a few hours.
Mhm.
They started to let go some of the other hikers doing my job, the same job as me.
Yeah.
Plus, we had what we wanted, like you were saying. We had the church, we had the friends, and all of that. Well, after that, though, once I lost my job, I mean, I didn't lose it, but it was definitely heading there. Like she was saying, we saw the writing on the wall, and actually, you did have to stop working at your job.
Yep.
And so once that income went, our business couldn't do in-person classes. We couldn't make any money that way, and we weren't set up online fully yet to realize that income. And so, because we were making online courses, but they weren't completed, so we weren't realizing any income off of that. And we started making some YouTube videos. You can go to our YouTube channel at Moto Me Life and see that we put out a few yoga videos for our clients because we were serving them every week. What's up, man?
Hey.
And that went. So then, all of a sudden, we were like, boom, third stage, preparation stage. Now we're like, we need to make a move. We have to make a decision now. What is that going to be? How are we going to survive through this?
Yeah.
Are we going to get back over the road? We thought about rejoining the military.
Yeah. Which
We
quickly
thought
went-
about, there's a grocery store near us, Aldi, that's hiring all the time. Walmart started hiring a bunch. It's not like there were no jobs.
Yeah.
What was the fourth one?
Working at a hospital.
oh.
I personally have I just have a drive to serve when there's a need for help, right? And that's part of why I had joined the Marine Corps and did my time there, and it's why I do my business. I would like to serve where there's a need, and there is a need for what I do. And in this crisis, it's something different. I don't have any medical skills. Combat Lifesaver doesn't do anything in a hospital, so or first aid or my CPR stuff. It's kind of like, I was like, well, what could I do? I could do like janitor work or something, or would I just be in the
Clerical.
way?
Or,
Yeah, like I'd just probably be in the way, honestly.
Well, and I had previously been a phlebotomist.
Yeah.
Drawing people's blood at the hospital, and so I was like, well, I could go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so those were sort of the four things. No matter what, we knew that for our life we were trying to hit on four things, six things. Six things we really, these are kind of like no hitters, no brainers. Like, this is what we can't do without.
Our musts, yeah.
Our musts. If we are going to reorganize our life around something, or something forced us, COVID, to make a change, then we at least needed these things. We wanted family, us.
Yeah.
So we needed to be together, and our pups are in the truck too. Can't really see them, but we needed
And to be able
together.
to support family if needed during this time. That was the other part. Not just being able to be together and work together, but how can we support our families if need be? And what job would do that?
Yeah. Health and personal development, that's
Yep.
a must. We
That is
didn't want to
absolute
stop
must.
giving that up. And if you know anything about the trucking industry, you know that this is a very hard lifestyle. It's hard on the body, it's hard on the mind. And it's a hard life to stay up in. And it's one of the top, I think, 3 most deadly, dangerous jobs just because of health. Just
because
for
of health
reasons.
not necessarily because of the accidents.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous
Not
piece
even because of the road.
It's because of health.
But because health is hard out on the road. We wanted service. That's our third must. We are called to service. That's sort of what we feel our calling is in life, and everything that we surround ourselves and work towards is trying to help others via what stuff we've worked through.
Yeah.
Fourth, we wanted financial security.
Yep.
We've been seeking and growing financial security and financial freedom in our life, and that resource is just something that's necessary in our society.
Yeah.
Everybody has different feelings about money, and we can talk about that another time, but that resource is necessary for this time in history. If we're going to be Star Trek later where you don't need any money, cool, that I would love it. But right now, this is how it is, especially in a capitalistic democracy like America. So fifth, we wanted to save Motome's life. We didn't want to give up our business.
Nope.
And so we're still talking about it. And
we knew we could do this, we could do our business in so many different ways because it is personal development. And I know that there's a lot of people out there, I see it. I see a lot of people who are great at personal development stuff. It's like Joe Rogan, Kevin Hart, I was just listening to, Tony Robbins.
there's the Les Browns and the Zig Ziglars.
They're amazing. They're amazing at teaching people how to, change your lives and to live a happier life, live with less suffering and things like that. And honestly, that's what draws me to them. It's not just because they're inspirational, but that's my vocation. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I couldn't give that up. We couldn't give that up, and we knew that it's something that we could adapt to whatever we decided to do.
Yeah. And the final piece really was church.
Yes.
Last time we were over the road, we kind of found a spirituality again that I think we both had lost, maybe through the military or maybe in youth. I couldn't really remember the last time I was really super spiritual once we found that again. And when we got home, we actually found a really neat church that we fit into. And shout out St. John's.
St. John's Episcopal, Springfield, Missouri. What's up?
And so that needed to stay a piece of our life, and that's also something that's kind of hard to do out on the road. It's hard to stay connected spiritually when you're not in your church community.
And it's a cute church. Let me just give it a little side note. This church is so cool. It's cute and it's like old, and I love that old look. I don't like anything too shiny and gaudy, and this was just like, it's like perfect. And
yeah, it's over 100 years old now.
Yeah,
it's this cute little chapel.
And the community. I've never been in a church with a community. Like, I was looking for that community in your church, and I would hear other people talk about it, and I just like whatever. I just feel judged all the time. And this church was just completely opposite, welcoming, loving, and it just diversity, but everyone just gets along really well. And I mean, at least that's what I believe. That's what I saw.
That's the story I see. No, it is. It's true. And everybody finds their style of worship and spirituality in a different way.
In a different way, and that's totally cool. I think that as long as you have that larger purpose, that larger thing that you're trying to serve for.
Right, serving a larger purpose greater than yourself, however you find that.
And that was the other piece of our church, that they were also helping the community. Like, I didn't have to myself go out and establish how to help the community. The church already had that, and we were able to participate in helping the church's committees and doing things for the community. So that's what I liked that a lot. So I could serve, but not have to be in charge of too much,
which is rare.
Yeah.
You love to lead. You're a leader.
I had to learn to say no. Okay, I had to learn to say no to a lot of stuff.
That's true. You might have learned to say no. We kind of fill our plate.
Yeah, I just put a lot on there, and I guess
we're those typical Americans, like in the buffet, where you just crab legs, like just
like, yes, I'll help you. Yes, a service.
2 plates.
I'll help you.
Just all on the one plate. Yeah.
No. Anyway, so those were our musts in our life, and those 6 things, and we were like, how do we have these musts? And there's just multiple different decision models and strategies, but again, just sticking with this one, we were like, this was something that was must for us, and anything we chose to do, this was what has to entail.
So then the next stage 4 is actually taking action. So just to recap, we've gone through pre-contemplation, where we're like, we're not even, like, it's not even really on your radar. Maybe you've kind of thought about it,
but there's there's not that many negatives.
And then there's contemplation, where you're just kind of at a stalemate. You know, the pros don't outweigh the cons yet for you to really do anything. And then there's the preparation stage, where now we're really starting to think through, okay, we've got to make a move.
Yeah, so we went through those options of different jobs and that would help, and we were like, yeah, those don't meet those needs. What really did meet those needs was trucking. Yeah. And so we're like, okay, let's look at trucking.
And it maybe didn't meet everything.
It didn't meet, because I can't be at my church, but I can, I can help support them still.
With our friends, and there's some things that you have to give up, but those are the sacrifices that maybe are necessary just for a certain time, at least in your short-term goal stages, and this is a wheel. So we're going to get through 5 stages here, and if you think of it in a wheel, these are the things that you just do over and over and over again to keep kind of rolling down your path, down your journey towards your larger long-term goals. Mm-hmm. So the next stage was action, and we've decided trucking, like you were saying. And we were like, okay, how do we do it the best? How do we implement this new lifestyle the best way? Yep. What's the best way?
What's going to be like the smoothest, the best, the most, the comfortable, efficient, and when I say the comfort is always a thing, but it's already stressful time, with this COVID and everything. Yeah. So who's even going to be open enough on hiring to, at this time and things like that. So we looked at a few different companies, different things for government, different things for other companies. We used to drive for Stevens Transport. We took a look at them. They were offering bonuses to come back with them, and then but with Prime, we used to drive for Prime as well, and we do really like Prime a lot. I mean, I'm just excited about how much they support their drivers and things like that. And every job has their ups and downs, and there are people who have, different stories. But for us, it's been a great story. And
we had a prior relationship with them.
we did.
We've worked with them. Not only have we been truckers with this company previously, we teamed together for Prime. Then I drove for Prime solo as a tank, on the tanker side. And we also had relationship, starting to be in the works just for Motomy with the personal development side. And none of that has come to fruition yet. But, the point was we had a really great relationship built with this company. We understood who they were, why they do the things we do, and honestly, their core values of how they run their company matched up with our core values for our life and our company and things like that too. And so it was really just a good pair.
Yeah. And since they knew us and we knew them, not that we got like an easy in or anything like that. It wasn't that at all. But it was familiar to us. And
we knew the process.
So we knew that
application.
Yep. How to apply.
Orientation.
Talking to our recruiter, that it was our recruiter to begin with.
Yeah, I just called up our old recruiter.
And talking to old trainers to get an idea of what's on the road and things like that, what's going on with this COVID thing, and what we should prepare for supply wise on the truck, while we had access to stores easily, and so just different things. So went through the training, that sort of stuff, and then we got on the road.
And we also considered, how do we take the past 6 years of doing personal training and transformational specialists in building this personal development business? How do we not just toss all that to the side? How do we maintain it? How do we do things differently? How can we learn from our failures and successes of being over the road previously and do this, but in an even better way?
Because the experience that we have now compared to, we didn't have the experience we have now personal development wise when we were trucking before, and now we have so much just in-person clients, speaking in front of people, owning physical businesses.
What to do with our money.
Legal stuff, how to legal stuff with your businesses. We learned so much in the past 5 years that we can, with that knowledge, we can come back. It's kind of just, sometimes it's just destiny, divine, but getting on the road and being able to share all that knowledge with everybody on the road, and
make that, not let it go, but make it an integral part of doing this business. And now basically we took up another business, so now we're just multi-business owners. And right now we've got this business right here in this gray truck behind me, and we've got this business right here that I'm talking on this microphone for, and we're just working them both, and that feels pretty neat. It's been neat, right? Over the past 2 weeks, we've just been almost 3 weeks now over the road. But we went through the application, the orientation, and all that, and we've kind of done it. Like, it feels cool. You should have seen this. Lenore, getting ready for this whole thing. She was ordering stuff on Amazon. We were up at 7 to get to Walmart every day, picking up our one single pack of baby wipes and sanitary napkins or Lysol wipes. And whatever, because you can only get one at a time. And we needed to survive on this truck for 2 months before we were going to be able to go anywhere, right? Or before we thought we wanted to. And it's been weird to see how each different state is different. And we have been able to make a Walmart stop, but we kind of thought before we left Springfield, we're not going to get a Walmart stop.
People were telling us they couldn't even get water. And so we were like, okay, so how are we going to get water?
So our whole living room was full of supplies, a small freezer.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna tell you, this freezer we got before we were trucking, we didn't buy a whole lot of amenities and things like that, because it was a 2-year goal. We completed it. We were happy. And that was just our goal for trucking the first time.
We were gonna pay off our debt. And pay for our wedding and a honeymoon, and just be done. It was never a long-term thing. And now we're like, maybe we should play this out a little long-term now that we're...
I'm just mostly excited to do it. Once we made the decision that, okay, trucking was gonna hit most of these musts, 90%, 95% of these musts,
Right, because most of the trucking industry is a recession-proof industry, right? Because once everybody went into quarantine, what things were necessities? Now trucking for, transporting concert events and maybe cars and things like that, and certainly like the flatbed industry had slowed down a little bit, but people needed those shelves full.
Yeah.
And so that it became vital. And so we knew that we were going to be able to be out here and do something service-wise for the country, to bring them their supplies and stock those shelves and do our part, and at the same time make enough money to support our family, be together, still operate Motomy. And really the only thing that we really feel is lacking is that we can't be home with our church right now. And
Yeah, that was like a really hard thing to like part with, and because
they understand, and they're totally there for us, and we're still, most everybody's viral right now anyway, and so we're still doing online church.
Yeah.
And saying hi to them and things. But
so this meant all those musts. We found that we came with Prime, got on the road, and also the preparation part was then, okay, after we made that decision, what kind of supplies do we need? How do I make sure that our fitness and health stays on there? So those musts, how do we do these things on the truck?
How did you do it?
What do you mean?
Tell them about the top bunk.
Oh, the top bunk. So up on in our truck, it's actually a pretty big space. We were like, okay, we need to pick a truck that has a lot of space for all of us, and that we could do physical fitness in, at least some movement, right? And these internationals are huge. I'm not gonna lie, there has a lot of space. We were gonna get a Pete, but then we were like, whoa, this is like way smaller.
Blasphemy. weren't we?
Peterbilt.
I don't want a Pete.
You were adamant about it. What are you talking about?
I thought I definitely wanted a Freightliner.
You wanted a Peterbilt. We went.
You know what I really want now?
That white one.
I love International.
So we got into this International. It's got a huge space. So we decided that we would definitely just have the top bunk and try to keep it as clear as possible and not put any storage up there. When we trucked before, we had some storage up there.
Oh, it was packed with storage.
It was packed with drawers and stuff like that. So we had to think minimalist. And we had to think, sorry, there's like bugs on me. We had to think minimalist and just basic with not just our clothes and our cleaning but also our fitness. So
yeah, because that became a must piece that we had to have on the truck. We weren't going to lose our health not to do this.
So I made the top bunk, and it's beneficial for us because we are short. I'm 5'3", you're 5'4", so we're not really tall.
We're kind of small. I'm not saying everybody could do this, but the point of it is that we decided it was a must, and we made sure that to make a way, and that's how you have to do it. Not everybody's going to be able to do it, but you have to find a way to make it happen for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know what kind of truck we were getting when I was preparing for all this stuff, so I was just thinking about it. How am I going to be outside? And everybody kind of knows, if you're a trucker or whatnot, you kind of know what it's like to be in the parking lots everywhere you go.
This is unique. It's kind of nice. We're sitting on some grass. I haven't really got a waft of urine.
Go on the other side of the truck.
Oh. Well, so
this spot is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty nice that the wind's blowing this way, so it's kind of keeping it away from us.
Oh, that could be it. So anyway, so you don't really, like last time we were like, just get out of your truck, man, just do some push-ups. I'm like, I don't want my face or my hands.
All closed, my face
anywhere
2 inches from the floor, where everyone dumped their pee.
No, yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna pass on that. And then breathing heavily. As it's like, nah.
It's really gross, and so
there's so much. There's only so much of like, there's a wheel, there's a way. You gotta just do it. Or I'm not gonna put my face 2 inches from pee. I'm sorry, like.
Yeah, me either. And maybe that's a flaw of ours, I guess you could say. But
that was my line.
There's an understanding, a knowingness of yourself that comes with personal development. And then you really figure out what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. And not to say that you shouldn't push yourself to that next limit and go to those next new heights, but Yeah, that was
So
the
that
line.
was, you know,
That was
you
the
think
line.
about the things you're gonna have to. Those are the problems that I had to find solutions for because I knew that was a line for me, right? So if you're curious of what that looks like and how what I got with
We'll do
me
like a
and things
truck
like
tour.
that, we'll do like a truck tour or something later. And then if you have questions about it, let me know.
And hopefully that's
And-
going to be our journey, kind of showing you guys how we do it, and maybe you'll find some inspiration to figure
See
out a
what works
way
for
to do
you,
it
yeah.
in your space, on your truck. And we still do standing upright exercises
Outside, yeah, because there's so much you could do outside. There's so many different exercises you could do outside without getting your face on 2 inches from pee. So
Yeah, but sometimes you don't even really want to like run around the parking lot. At least I don't. Like in those humid places
yeah, those humid
where
places.
now the pee smell isn't just here, 2 inches
Yeah.
off the ground. It's
it's steamed
wafting.
up.
Like you don't even want to open up your windows. Man.
That's not aromatherapy, that's for sure.
Anyway, all that to say, we made it to the action stage, and we took all those considerations through those stages, plus our past experiences. So you'd say that's part of the wheel, where we had gone through these stages over and over and over again. So we had these past successes and failures and understandings of this lifestyle, and we knew that we wanted to do this. We came back to Prime and sort of made it happen. And now the next stage, so that's 4 stages, right? The action would be number 4, and the 5th stage is really maintenance. But you don't really consider that stage as something that you've completed or that you're within until about 3. You've been doing it about 3 to 6 months, and we've been out here for about 3 weeks, so we're not quite there yet. But we are actively maintaining this lifestyle. We've stayed physical.
Yeah.
We've done our PT. We've kept that freezer. We've been eating right in our little rice cooker.
Yeah.
We haven't ate like
Instapot.
Yeah, it does slow cooking and rice cooking, whatever.
It's
And so
amazing.
it's amazing. But we picked certain foods. We packed, chicken and rice and veggies, and we wanted to maintain this healthy lifestyle over the road and see if it was actually doable, and how can we help other people figure it out.
Yeah, and there's other examples that we kept reading in different magazines or different blogs that these are people
like, that's
who,
not feasible.
Yeah, I mean they're telling you to do different workouts in your bunk and there's no mattress in there, and you're like, well, what did you do with the mattress? Like,
set it out on the people. Just take it out of your truck. Set it out there. No. Yeah. So we want to try to represent
Legit,
a way,
what's happening.
a lifestyle that maybe you can take pieces of and implement in your own life. And
just today,
and think
a woman was talking about how I didn't even think about that, is to use load locks to lift with and things like that.
she was doing squats with them. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant.
I didn't even think about that, but I was like, wow. And so we're trying to interact with other truckers and people who maybe even RV life, that sort of mobile life. What are they doing? How are you finding a healthy mental, physical, eating even? Like, how are you finding that in your life?
Or even just starting to ask yourself these questions. If on a scale of 1 to 10, you're like, maybe you want to start to be more healthy, and you're like, I'm kind of like maybe at a 3. Then my question for you would be like, okay, so I can see maybe you're not quite ready to change yet. Maybe those pros don't outweigh the cons for you as far as longevity and vitality of life and health and being around for your kids or your family or whatever it is, your why hasn't quite outweighed your just kind of, I'm okay in my space right now, or you're not there. I just say, why wasn't it a 0? And so just think that through, and those reasons of why you're not completely off the map, start to do your research and think other things through. And this is just one model.
Yeah.
But there's other ways to start to build that self-efficacy and that motivation in your life.
Yeah.
And listen to the right things over the road, and not just bad talk news radio on
I've
Sirius
listened to
XM.
like 6 books over the road. I think 7 now.
I'm already loving being back over the road. I've got nothing but time to just fill my brain with good stuff. Why fill it with bad stuff? We'll talk about that in another video. And so just think about where you are maybe on the Stages of Change model, and just look it up. do a little bit of research and think about maybe a place that you want to change some behavior, and hopefully for the better, you know.
Yeah. So to get into a little bit of those last few, we couldn't really talk about it in our story because, well, we're in the middle of it, right? We're in the middle of maintenance.
Oh, we're headed there.
Yeah, we're headed there, right?
We've maintained it for 3 weeks, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. I mean, if you could do anything for a month, you can pretty much say that, yeah, it's still going to be, I'm not going to lie, it's still going to be slightly difficult, but it's going to be way easier than day one. So just, I mean,
keep chipping away.
Just keep chipping away. Just one step at a time, one run at a time, one punch at a time.
Yeah.
So you get in there, you do your thing,
and it's not how hard you get hit, but how many times you can get hit and get back up.
How hard you can get hit and get back up. So anyways, but yeah, so the maintenance stage, you're gonna get some tendencies to want to quit. I mean, you can think about that in anything, like especially like healthy eating. That's an easy example where you're like,
right,
you know, that pizza looks pretty good. I think I might have that, but it's not your, maybe, I don't, some people have cheat days, you know, and so like they're like, it's not really your cheat day, but you get it anyways, and then, you know, like you start to, that's a slippery slope, you know.
But also in the maintenance stage, you get the benefits of, man, I've actually seen some weight
progress.
loss, or I'm starting to feel a little bit better mentally, or I just feel just the elevation off of the back of the success of just doing it for an amount of time.
Yeah.
And so those are usually the things that spin that wheel around one more time, because the 6th phase, actually, interestingly enough, is laps.
Yep.
And everybody is going to fall off the wagon. I think that we can all agree.
Or it didn't work out for you. Maybe you lapsed because that wasn't the right technique for you, or the right diet plan, or the exactly.
It's experiment. You got to experiment. If it doesn't work for you, then that thing didn't work for you. It doesn't mean that healthy living isn't for you,
and that you're a complete failure. You know, it's
keto or whatever isn't for everyone. Vegan isn't for everyone. You know, and all
plant-based isn't for everyone.
Yeah,
you know, like
you have to find what's going to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
That self-awareness is key, and also another key first step really to personal development and getting started on that journey.
Yep.
Yeah.
We discussed this back and forth, like what should be our first one from being trucking, and we really started with, let's just explain how we made the decision to be here, but we really want to talk about like the how one gets started on a map, on a plan, on creating their own plan for themselves. So that'll be coming up soon. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see if it's the next one or whatnot. But
sometime.
Yeah. But we're excited about that, and but we wanted to share this. So again, like you said, it's the wheel. So you had that lapse, and now you go back to not necessarily pre-contemplation, but maybe you go to preparation. You revisit your preparation stage, and then you take action on new changes that you see that needs to happen, and you go back into that maintenance, and then who knows if there's a lapse with that, and you just keep going, right?
Yeah.
These are all your thoughts,
or you start to
your
add
behaviors,
on.
your feelings that you have to evaluate.
Because typically we wouldn't start a client out with just cold turkey everything, just start it all anew. But let's just start with, you know what, let's start on cutting back soda. Let's just start there. Don't change anything else. I don't want you to get fit. I don't even want you to start running. I don't want you to start lifting. I don't want you to do anything but just this week, don't have any soda, or at least cut it back. I mean, if you're having 3 a day, you know, have 3 a week. If you're, you know, just cut it back. Start with that one thing, and then we'll cycle through the wheel, and maybe
create
we'll
those wins
add,
and build that self-efficacy.
you know, okay, let's let go of pizza or cheese or whatever it is for you. Let's try to sleep better, or have a better schedule, or whatever it is.
For a real example would be for myself. I was trying to quit smoking. I started smoking when I was in the Marine Corps, and then it just, you know, kind of just stuck with me, and then I was smoking a lot. And then I tried to quit, and I'd smoke again, quit, and start smoking again, try to quit. You know, it did that
Only
like
socially.
At first it was socially, and then it got to like all the
But
time.
then you quit, and then only once, like
when I go
when you were
drinking
out,
or whatever. And I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna say, like, if you're gonna quit smoking, you have to quit drinking. You have to quit coffee. You're gonna have to quit. At least for me, that's what had to work for me. I tried the
coffee too.
Coffee and alcohol. I had to quit both. And,
Really?
Yep. And
Cheese, you're one of the rare though. About 7% of people can actually quit like cold turkey.
Yeah, I just
And we're
knew
not
I
maybe
had already
necessarily
tried.
suggesting that for you.
Yeah, that's not for everybody. But I had to figure out what it was for myself. I tried all the ways. I even tried patches, which made me even feel worse. And so I was like, this is not going to be.
Did you do gum?
No, I never did the gum. I just,
never did gum.
I did. They're really expensive, so I was like, and the patches were free. So.
Got you.
So anyway, so I tried this different steps of weaning back and all the stuff, but and it just didn't work for me. So I knew that if I had one, I was gonna have the whole pack. And so I had to. And then I started buying. If I bought a pack, I'd smoke and then throw away the whole pack after I smoked that one.
So you had that like hard penalty.
That hard penalty, right? And then I was like, well, that's a waste of money. I just smoke, and then I didn't have the hard penalty anymore. And then I just gave myself too many excuses to continue smoking. It makes me feel good. I'm stressed out and mad, and all these things that have been proven that don't work. Like those are false excuses. Like there's no science that backs any of that up. And I at the time I would get defensive about it. Like, no, I know it helps me feel better. I get really defensive. Anyway, so it just had to be something that I have to quit, because I think what it was mostly is that I didn't like how addicted I felt to this thing.
That was finally the thing that made your stalemate.
That, and I wanted to live with you.
Yeah. So when we met, you were smoking.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I just couldn't stand the smell anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I had to shower and everything, and that was an extra piece.
But you went through all those stages, though. You went through the stages of change. You were like, absolutely no, I'm not gonna. And then you were like, the pros don't outweigh the cons. Mm-hmm. You tried to start making. You were like, okay, I have to make a decision, and patches didn't work, so you had to try a new thing, and this didn't work. You tried all these things.
I took action. The maintenance didn't work. I lapsed and had to reconsider what my plan was, and I had to quit just cold turkey. That was it for me. Just cut it out, quit, be done, and along with that, stop drinking. And
what has allowed you to maintain it?
Well, after a while, you just don't want it. I will say that the smell sometimes, or seeing somebody smoking on TV or in person, it's like, oh, that looks really good, but then you get kind of close to the smell of it, and then it's like it smells disgusting. It smells really gross, and I don't even want it.
So there's a thing called like first and second and like third tier consequences. I know, like, so when you immediately see it, you're kind of like, oh, I really want one. That looks really great.
On occasion, you kind of not as much anymore.
But you kind of thinking maybe in the back of your head, like, But in the long term, those long term goals kind of have started to outweigh your short-term craving.
Yeah, because I also don't live in a household that smokes.
Right.
So I'm not surrounded by smokers or anything like that. I will say, when I am around other smokers and they're going out to go, the social aspect of smoking is always the great thing about smoking. That was the most awesome positive about it, because you meet all kinds of people. And I'm a social person, so you get to go and talk to strangers, and then there's an etiquette that goes with smoking and all that. There's just but the smoking, the habit, is just shitty. So I just didn't. I didn't want it. And if I still go hang out and try to hang out with these smokers, I'm gonna smoke. So I was just like, I can't do that anymore. So I don't know. It's just, again, finding, and you don't smoke, so nobody at home smokes, and I only have a couple friends that smoke, and they don't really smoke around me too much. So I don't know. It wasn't too bad.
Right.
So.
Well, look, that's cool though. I'm happy about it, obviously. But I'm glad that you found something that made you want to stop. It couldn't have been just for me. You had to have your own personal reasons.
I didn't like
empowerment.
That something was demanding me to do, like a chemical was demanding me to do something bad for me. I didn't like that addiction, not being in control, I guess, or something. And
something about that pulled on your value system.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's where we're going to wrap this up. Leave us comments, and we'd love to hear from you. And hey, motivators, stay motivated, stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, let us know if you liked what you heard, or just anything, even negative or positive. I'm always looking to improve, and this is something I want to do. So if you're like, you guys ramble too long or whatever, or I got real good advice from this, just please let us know. And and anything else you want to hear about. We are in the personal development industry. If you're curious about how to change your behaviors or how to start just working out calisthenic wise, if you're a veteran and want to talk to somebody,
we're here.
Yeah.
You can find all of our information at motomelife.com, MOTOME life.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and all social media at MotoMeLife. And you can use the hashtag Stay Motivated
Or MotoMeLife.
MotoMeLife, and we'll see you out there on the interwebs.
Yeah, we'll see you in a different state. All right, have a good day. Stay
Bye, guys.
motivated.